Hey guys, it's Rahim Bah. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button because I talk about property investment, personal development, and how to gain financial freedom. Invest in property has been a cornerstone for wealth. From buying an apartment from the heart of city centers to buying cozy homes in towns, cities, villages, countryside, properties offers a wide variety of choices. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you the risk and benefit of investing in properties. Before I share what I've got for you today, I would like to thank you so much for your support, for your general support, for liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. We've done a recent research recently. We realized 87% of the people that are watching this channel, maybe it could be one of you, have not hit that subscribe button. If you're one of those, please, I kindly ask you to smash that subscribe button, because smashing the subscribe button allows YouTube to push our videos to a wider audience and attract more people that can benefit on what I've got to share. So before we get to start talking about the risk and benefit, let's define investment property. What is investment property? Investment property is an investment property bought to earn rental income or capital appreciation, or both. In essence, you're buying a property in order to be able to make passive residual income by collecting rent, and as well as gain capital appreciation when the property price goes up in value. So let's look at the risk. Property investment is an amazing vehicle to generate wealth and create generational wealth, but it doesn't come without having a risk. So let's look at the risk. We've got market fluctuation. So what is market fluctuation? Market fluctuation is when the prices of commodities goes up and down. The same thing applies to property. Sometimes your property price would go up, sometimes it could go down as well. So it doesn't always go up in value, especially if you're buying properties in areas where has not seen lots of capital appreciation recently. So you would end up finding out your property value is going down instead of going up. Another risk associated to investing in property is maintenance. Maintenance is very hard to estimate because it could be any sort of work that is required to do in the properties. Landlords fixing issues around the property could not just be one issue, could be multiple of issues, and sometimes this maintenance issue can really eat into your profits. For example, if you have a boiler breakdown where you'd have to replace the boiler, that could cost you lots of money and it could significantly eat into your profit. It also comes with complexity and hidden costs. So what are these complexities and hidden costs? They are costs that you may not envisage. For example, you've bought a property, you've renovated it, only to find out there's a crack outside and there's a water penetrating in the property, or maybe the roof is leaking, or if you are actually paying the bills on behalf of tenants, perhaps the bills will come really high, more than what you've anticipated, and then it start eating into your profit, and if you're not be careful, you end up not making money in the investment property. Another risk is vacancy risk. You see, when you buy a property, it doesn't necessarily rent all the time. You may have voids, you may need to repair the property, and then during the repairs, the property may be vacant, not making you any money, where you would have to pay your mortgage, you have to pay your council tax, and you would also need to pay other costs to keep the property going until the property is rented. And then obviously, if you bought the property in a place where you really struggle to rent the property out, that vacancy period could be a bit more longer than you've anticipated. These are the risks you may face when investing in property. Let's now look at the benefit of investing in property. The first benefit is stability and appreciation. You see, when you buy a property, the fluctuation doesn't happen in a regular basis. Basically, it doesn't go up like stock and shares. It does fluctuate, but it takes its time to fluctuate. If it's going down, it doesn't go down drastically, and as well as if it's going up, it doesn't go up drastically. So if you are one of those very experienced, you can position yourself in a way that you could overcome that. The beauty about property also is the stability. Once you've bought the property, you've done it up and you've rented it, you've got that rental income coming to you every single month without actively doing anything, and also without thinking, oh, it would fluctuate, because it's not compared to stock and shares. If you bought stock and shares, your dividend may go up and it may go down depending on the performance of the company. Whereas properties, once you have tenant moved in, you've agreed for them paying a certain amount of rent, they'll pay it. Hopefully you got a good tenant, and that tenant would pay you money every single month, and it doesn't fluctuate. If anything, it goes up in yearly basis. And if you've got something that we call capital appreciation. The beauty about property, especially this part of it, would be the capital appreciation. This is the process by which the value of your property goes up over time. You could buy a property, for example, for say £100,000. Looking at the UK average house price increase, it's about 10 to 15%. Suppose then you've bought a property and that property was worth £100,000 and the property goes up in value by 10%, you would have bagged yourself £10,000 in addition to whatever rent you would have collected throughout the year. So property gives you the stability and capital appreciation whilst making steady passive income. Now let's talk about passive income. The beauty about investing in property is passive income. It makes you money every single day. One of the most beautiful things about investing in property is what I call cash flow. Cash flow is passive income. It's the income you make from renting your property to tenant. This could be a normal tenant, a tenant that stays in your property for a long period of time. It could be family, it could be single people living in your property that are paying you rent every single month. It could also be a serviced accommodation property. It could be Airbnb. Airbnb property is when someone stays in your property on a short-term basis and they pay you rent on a nightly basis, which also gets you better return on your investment. So this is one of the beauty about properties, and also it gives you better return compared to so many assets class out there. The other third benefit of investing in property is diversification. So what do I mean by diversification? Property is a massive asset class that would allow you to diversify in different strategies. We have strategies like HMO, house in multiple occupation. These are the strategies that would allow you to rent a property room by room basis instead of renting it to a whole family. And we also have family let, where you can buy a 2 or 3 bedroom house. Instead of renting it room by room, you can rent it to a family to also make steady recurring income. Or you can buy a property, instead of renting it as a whole property, you can then subdivide it into multiple units. You can have maybe 2 or 3 apartments, and you can then rent those apartments individually. And perhaps you want to use it as a mixed use properties. You can use upstairs as an apartment and obviously downstairs as a shop or corner shop. Have you ever seen a Tesco with an apartment over it? That's what you call mixed use. These are mixed use properties. So basically the owner of the property is making money by Tesco renting the ground floor, and then obviously the first and second or maybe even third floor are rented by tenant, which would have divided into different flats. So you can diversify that way. Alternatively, you can buy a property, convert it into a commercial property. In other words, instead of having an apartment, you convert the whole building into office blocks where companies and organizations will come and rent your property, and that way you also make passive recurring income. And now you can see how you can do a lot when it comes to property. There's so many ways you can manipulate the figures. There's so many ways you can add value to the property, and there's so many ways you can force your rental income as well. And the fourth benefit, which is one of the best benefits, is tax benefit. You see, when you buy properties, you have tax benefit in it. You could use your property against some taxes. You can claim expenses, especially if you bought the property and put it in a company name. There's so many tax benefits you can get from it. So as you can see, there are risks and there are benefits in investing in property. Looking at property and various asset class or various ways of investment is one of the ones that really got minimal risk involved. So looking at the benefit, for me personally, that's why I've loved property, because the benefit way outweigh the risk. So hence the reason why I love investing in property, because it makes me steady recurring income without worrying about value going down drastically overnight, and it gets me that passive steady income of investing in property. As you can see, the benefit really outweigh the risk. Hence the reason why I love investing in property, because it gives me steady and stability as well as income and capital appreciation. If you like this video or any of my videos, hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing the next video. Thank you.